Welcome in, everyone. Today we're diving deep into the legacy of an absolute icon in Italian fashion, Anna Piaggi. But get this, we're not just going to rehash the typical bio stuff. We're going to explore her influence through a brand new exhibition at Milano Unica.
Yes, Anna Piaggi. Parole e Taffeta, which translates to Words and Taffeta, running from February 4th to the 6th, 2025. It's going to be so much more than a typical look back at her life. The choices they've made for this exhibition, it really brings her impact to life.
And we're lucky enough to have the work of fashion editor and journalist Simona Cochi to guide us. She's the one who compiled all the info we'll be talking about today.
Amazing work, really.
For those who might not know, Anna Piaggi was this legendary fashion journalist, creative consultant for Italian Vogue, and a true pioneer of the whole vintage concept.
Oh, absolutely. Her style, so flamboyant, and that iconic Doppie Pagine column she did in Vogue Italia, truly influential. And her impact on designers, I mean, just look at Karl Lagerfeld.
Yeah.
This exhibition, it's going to explore how she used clothing and accessories as a language. It's like she was telling stories, reflecting culture, all through what she wore.
I love that idea. Fashion as communication. Speaking of which, there's this quote from Piaggi: "The sound of words is as important as the rustle of taffeta." It's perfect. How did she actually combine words and fashion in her work? I mean, in a practical sense.
Well, that's where Doppie Pagine comes in. It wasn't just about trends, it was about the ideas behind the clothes. She wove fashion with art, literature, history, made you see it all in a new light. And that's what the exhibition is aiming for, capturing that feeling.
So how's it structured? I mean, to show that link between her words and her style.
So they've chosen 25 outfits from Piaggi's personal collection, curated by journalist Daniela Fedi and artistic director Jacopo Tonelli. The garments are from JATO 1991, which is part of MinervaHub, and the Anna Piaggi Cultural Association.
Quite the collection, I bet. And MinervaHub, they're big in Italian fashion, right?
Oh, absolutely. Leaders in high-end accessories. But they're passionate about more than just business. Supporting Italian excellence, cultural projects, that's what they're about. And having it at Milano Unica, it's a major international textiles and accessories fair, Very strategic.
Totally. Bringing Piaggi's legacy into a space where the future of fashion is being shaped. Inspiration from the past, fueling future innovation. It's really beautiful.
It is, and she was a true pioneer of vintage, mixing high and low, old and new, with such confidence.
She was so ahead of her time. Is that why she's considered a fashion eccentric? What made her stand out?
Well, she wasn't afraid to break the rules, that's for sure. Embraced individuality in a remarkable way. Some even called her a work of art herself. I think it's that fearlessness, that playful approach that keeps people fascinated.
So this exhibition, it's more than just looking at clothes. It's understanding her creativity, her intellect, how she turned personal style into a powerful form of communication.
Yes, celebrating her vision and reminding us that fashion can be so much more than what we wear. It's a reflection of our personality, values, our creativity.
So if I walked into this exhibition, what would it feel like? What are they going for, atmosphere-wise?
Imagine stepping right into one of her Doppie Pagine columns. The outfits aren't arranged chronologically, they're grouped by words she used in her writing. A dialogue between her words and her style. Truly immersive.
Wow, I love that. Fashion as a language, literally.
It's brilliant. You see the clothes, but you also get a peek into her mind, how she connected fashion to art, literature, history, even current events. Incredible.
It makes you wonder how someone develops that kind of vision. Was she always drawn to expressing herself through fashion, or did it evolve?
Such a good question. And one I bet the exhibition will explore. We know she was a translator before fashion journalism. Maybe that experience with language shaped how she saw clothes.
Interesting connection. Maybe translating helped her develop that eye for detail, symbolism. She wasn't just wearing clothes, she was creating these elaborate ensembles that told stories, conveyed emotions.
You got it. And remember, she did this when fashion was all about following trends, strict rules. Piaggi dared to be different, to break free.
Making her even more powerful, especially now. We're bombarded with how we should look and dress.
Yeah.
Piaggi's legacy says, no way, true style comes from within, from being yourself.
Absolutely, and that's so important today, especially for younger generations, figuring out identity, self-expression, all that in this digital world. Being true to yourself no matter what, that's powerful.
I couldn't agree more. Okay, so we've talked about the ideas behind the exhibition, the organizers, and Anna Piaggi's incredible vision. But what about the actual experience? What will visitors see, feel when they walk into that space?
It'll be a feast for the senses. Piaggi's iconic outfits, each one a work of art. But it's more than just the clothes. The colors, textures, shapes, how they're combined, it's incredible.
Sounds like stepping into one of her fashion fantasies.
Exactly. The curators have captured her spirit, brought her vision to life. It's not just looking, it's understanding the thought behind it, the creativity, the joy.
Like a peek behind the curtain into the mind of a fashion icon.
Exactly. And that's what's so special. Not just a retrospective, it's an invitation to see the world through her eyes, to find the beauty in everything, from a vintage hat to a designer gown.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And a message that resonates with everyone, even if you're not a fashion fanatic. Finding inspiration in the everyday, celebrating individuality, daring to be different.
And realizing true style is timeless, not about chasing trends, but expressing who you are with confidence.
So as we wrap up this first part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
what are the key takeaways about Anna Piaggi and this exhibition?
First, she was more than a fashion icon, a cultural force who used clothes to tell stories and challenge what everyone thought.
Right.
Second, Anna Piaggi. Rho Italia is a one-of-a-kind chance to explore her legacy through her own words, her own style.
Awesome. And finally,
Her enduring influence, embracing individuality, that playful approach, finding beauty in the unexpected.
it's powerful. True style comes from within, and being yourself never goes out of fashion. So we know Anna Piaggi was a visionary, but how did she actually challenge those conventions in the fashion world? Specifically, I mean.
One thing that really stands out is how she embraced what some might call, well, unfashionable. Mixing high-end couture with flea market finds, vintage and modern all together. She saw beauty in unexpected places and wanted everyone else to see it too.
It's like she was curating, right? Taking these different pieces and creating something totally new.
Exactly. That's what made her so fascinating. She wasn't following trends, she was making them. Showing that fashion could be personal, individual, breaking free from what people thought was acceptable.
Such a powerful message, especially in an industry that can be so exclusive. It's like she was saying, anyone can be fashionable. It's not about the clothes themselves, but how you wear them.
Absolutely. That's what's so inspiring. A true democrat of fashion, believing style should be for everyone, no matter your budget or background.
And she proved it with her own wardrobe. Over 14,000 items, they say. But it wasn't just about the quantity. It was the way she put it all together, creating these visual stories.
Each outfit was more than just clothes. Stories, poems, works of art. And remember those pictures of her with Karl Lagerfeld? He absolutely adored her, saw her as a muse, for sure.
Oh yeah, they had such a great dynamic. Playful, creative. It's clear she inspired him and so many other designers.
No doubt. She pushed boundaries, challenged the status quo. Bold, different, always herself.
That resonates with people today, I think. We're constantly told how to look, what to wear, how to present ourselves.
Yeah. Piaggi's legacy is a reminder that we don't have to conform. We can create our own style, identity, our own rules.
And that's worth celebrating. Back to the exhibition for a sec. We know it's Anna Piaggi, Parole e Taffeta, words, and taffeta. How do those two things actually come together in the space?
The curators have made it like a conversation between her writing and her style. The outfits aren't just there in chronological order. They're arranged by themes, based on words and phrases from her Doppie Pagine column.
So it's not just seeing the clothes, but understanding the ideas behind them.
Exactly. You experience Piaggi's world through her words, her unique visual language.
That's incredible. Can you give me an example, like how an outfit connects to a specific word?
Okay, imagine an outfit inspired by eccentric. She might have a bright vintage kimono, platform shoes, a feathered hat. This mix of textures and patterns, playful, unexpected. And next to it, maybe an excerpt from her column talking about individuality, defying convention.
Wow, I get it. It's like each outfit is a 3D version of her writing, bringing it to life.
Exactly. That's what's so special. It's not a typical fashion show. It's a celebration of someone who used clothes to communicate, express herself, comment on culture.
Like performance art, almost. Clothes are the performers, words are the script, and we're the audience, part of this dialogue between fashion and language.
You got it. It shows her amazing vision and her impact on fashion that lasts to this day.
So, someone walks into this exhibition. What do they experience? What do they walk away with?
I think they'd leave with a new appreciation for fashion as self-expression. A deeper understanding of Anna Piaggi's legacy, this incredible original who dared to be different.
And hopefully inspired to find their own unique style, use fashion to tell their own stories.
Absolutely, because that's what she was all about. Be yourself, express yourself, don't be afraid to stand out.
So well said. I can't wait to see it. Before we move on, let's go back to MinervaHub organizing this. Why do you think they chose this project specifically?
I think it shows how committed they are to Italian excellence, their heritage. They're not just a fashion company. They value creativity, innovation, and preserving Italian artistry.
Makes sense. And having it at Milano Unica, that was smart. It connects her legacy to the future of fashion.
Totally. Shows that inspiration can come from anywhere. The past can shape the present in ways you don't expect.
And highlights how fashion goes in cycles. Trends, ideas, they keep coming back, evolving.
You're right, and Piaggi's work was all about embracing that, mixing vintage and contemporary, creating these timeless looks.
So while she was a product of her time, her influence is still here today, inspiring designers and everyone who loves fashion.
Definitely. Her legacy reminds us, true style is timeless, and being yourself never goes out of style.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot here. The unique approach, her influence on designers, how the exhibition brings it all together.
Yeah, and the importance of MinervaHub's support, how Milano Unica being the venue is so strategic.
Now let's shift gears a bit. Let's look deeper into the culture surrounding Anna Piaggi's work. How does her legacy shape how we talk about fashion, identity, self-expression today? Okay, so we've talked about her impact on fashion, but I'm curious about the bigger picture. What was happening in Italy back then, in art, in society, that might have influenced her?
Well, think about it. Post-war Italy, this creative explosion, it was all about liberation, breaking free from the past, embracing new ideas.
So Piaggi's style, it wasn't just fashion, it reflected this cultural shift, this desire to push boundaries.
Exactly. Italian cinema was booming. There were avant-garde art movements, design and architecture were exploding. This incredible energy, a feeling that anything was possible. Piaggi captured that in her approach to fashion.
She was a product of her time, but she also helped shape it. And she drew inspiration from everywhere, art, history, literature, even everyday life.
She wasn't afraid to mix high and low, to find beauty where you wouldn't expect it. Remember when she used a cabbage leaf as a hat? It just shows her playful, irreverent side.
Oh yeah, she didn't take herself too seriously. Fashion was about fun, experimenting, breaking the rules.
And that resonates with people today, I think. We're so serious, so rule-bound. Piaggi reminds us to be playful, to experiment, to express ourselves in new ways.
It's about enjoying the process, the creativity, not just the end result.
Exactly. That's why her legacy is so strong. It wasn't just the clothes, it was the attitude, the spirit, the celebration of being unique. And that never goes out of style.
Speaking of legacy, how do you see her influence in fashion today?
Well, she paved the way for the whole vintage and upcycling trend. She showed us that fashion isn't about buying the latest thing. It's about finding unique pieces, mixing them up, creating your own style.
She was all about sustainable fashion before it was even a thing.
Absolutely. And you can see her influence in the rise of street style, celebrating individual expression. More than ever, people are using fashion to show who they are, what they believe in.
And that's what Piaggi was all about. She showed us that fashion is a powerful way to express yourself, to tell your story, to connect with the world.
And she did it with such joy, creativity, and courage.
It's amazing how her impact is still felt today. Before we wrap up, I want to mention Simona Cochi again, the fashion editor who helped put all this together. Can you tell us more about her contribution to understanding Piaggi?
Of course. Simona did amazing work compiling all the research and information for this exhibition. She's a respected voice in fashion. Her insights have been so valuable in understanding Piaggi's life and work.
A big thanks to Simona for sharing Piaggi's story with everyone.
Absolutely. Her work shows how powerful Piaggi's legacy is and how important it is to keep exploring and celebrating her.
I think we've covered a lot of ground today, giving you a glimpse into Anna Piaggi's world. If you want to learn more, check out the exhibition, Anna Piaggi, Parole Taffeta, at Milano Unica from February 4th to the 6th, 2025.
It's a chance to experience her vision and see how she continues to inspire the world of fashion.
And remember, embrace your individuality, express yourself authentically, and don't be afraid to break a few rules. As Anna Piaggi showed us, true style comes from within.